Okay, so I'm getting ready to build my 1100 engine. This is 0.25 over, so it's a little bit bigger than 1100 now. I've got to put the studs back in. If you don't remove your studs from your head before you send it off, you're going to get an extra charge from the machine shop for them to do that for you. And you certainly don't need to ship them with those sticking out because they're going to get bent in shipping. So never ship your core engines or anything that you're sending to a machine shop with these studs sticking out like this. Never do that. Pull them. Well, what I'm going to do, I have, you got your flywheel out. You can see how rusty that is in there. It was kind of rusty like that here. I've already wire wheel brushed my flywheel. That's a good idea for you to do that. Of course, make sure you don't lose your Woodruff key that fits in this slot. It's really small, very easy to lose. And inspect your teeth on this side. This is where your Bendix will engage with the flywheel. You want to inspect that the teeth aren't worn. See, there's a little bit of wear right there, but none of it is bad enough to cause an issue. So this flywheel is good. And the 900 flywheel is the exact same as the 1100. They are interchangeable. The part number is like a F4 something 322. It's in here. It's a Mitsubishi part number, but the 900 and the 1100 flywheels are exactly the same. So they're interchangeable. And that's just sharing some information for you in case you can't find an 1100 flywheel that's good. The 900 will work on that. F4 322, something like that. It's in another one of my videos. I mentioned it on a Bendix problems with a Kawasaki. But this one's good enough to go. So I'm going to go with that. But today I'm going to reinstall all of my studs on my cylinder head. They're right there. And I'm using the 2-nut technique. Lock together 2 nuts to put them back in. They do make a tool. If you have broken studs, they make a tool like this to extract your broken ones. I don't think it is recommended to be used on good ones because I think it'll booger up your threads. So a stud extractor, I don't think I would use that on good studs. So let's put these back in. All right, let's remember when we're putting these back together that a stud does have 2 ends. See how flat this end of the stud is? Well, obviously it has 2 ends, but see how rounded the other end is? That's the end that sticks out. That's not the end that you want to go into your head. So the flat end is going to go in here. The rounded end is going to stick out, and then the acorn nuts that this one uses fit on the top of those. So they are directional, in case you aren't paying attention. And you see I've cleaned these. These look quite nice, and they're ready to go back in. But also on this particular model with your exhaust studs, they are not all the same length. If you'll remember in the video where I showed removing the studs, and I talked about removing them, these center holes have the longer part where the exhaust bolts on here. And so I guess if you didn't know for sure, if you didn't make a video like I did, then all you do is you go over and you grab your exhaust and you put it up against there, and then you'll know. Let's see, it goes like this. Then you'll know where your longer studs have to be. See how long that is? And then here's another one. Here's another one. So you've got to make sure that you put your long studs back in the correct place, or you're going to have to pull them out and reinstall them again. So that's just something to make note of. So putting your head on its side, putting the exhaust manifold on, you can see it's the 4 center ones that take the longer, and the rounded ends are out. And then the rest of them take the shorter studs, which are in there as well. We'll get them all finger started, and then we'll get them seated with the 2-nut technique. So once again, the 2-nut method, you're locking the 2 nuts together so that they're tightly up against one another, and then you just go in with the top one this time. And when you're taking them out, you'll be focusing on the bottom nut to pull them out, but top nut, and get them all the way butted up to where your threads aren't showing anymore. Just snug. You don't have to get them super tight. Just get them snugged in there good, because the nut, when you torque it, is going to have your, that's what's going to hold it on. And of course, you're going to have your gasket in place. Oh, that's a nice looking machine work they did. Ready to go. So I've got to do that for every one of these, including every one of these, which takes a little bit of time, but it's all part of the process. Which studs go where, because you've only got, what, 1, 2, 4, 5 of the shorter studs that are going to go on your exhaust manifold. You'll have a whole heap of longer ones. See the difference in the length? That are going to be for your cylinder head. So you can't really confuse them. Now the nice thing is they're all the same size. It's a 13mm wrench that fits the outside. I should have taken down the size of this bolt for you, but I didn't. But it is metric. It is not standard. It is a metric bolt. But we're going to get them all in, and then that's pretty much all I can do today, other than clean up my bottom end. Just get it all nice and clean, ready for the crankshaft that's coming on Tuesday. And we'll be doing another engine build video. Maybe I'll do a little bit better job than the last Kawasaki one I did, because I didn't do a full engine build video on my other Kawasaki engine, because I wasn't thinking about doing videos to try to help people out with working on their own jet skis at the time, which is what this channel is about. I want you to be able to figure out how to do it yourself. If nothing else, I'm documenting for me how to put it back together. I can go refer to my own videos for the rebuild, which is also a great thing. So you got to clean all your old gasket off. This one's kind of hard to do if you don't pull the studs on this for your intake, where your reeds go. And then again, you've got the one large gasket here. And there is one thing I will say about this: the cheap gasket sets that you can buy are going to come with a paper type gasket that goes there. I bought one of those one time. Okay, I won't buy those again. I want the metal gasket that lays there, because it ended up tearing because of the rod flipped over to the side, and I was trying to build, and it just tore. Okay, so I won't fool with any of those low cost gasket sets where that gasket is made out of a paper material. I recommend that you don't, but that's up to you if you want to do that. But that's it. To really get these clean, you need to pull the studs, and that's just how that is. And there you have it. All the studs are replaced. The conical ends are up or out, and that job is done. All the studs are back in. I'll cover this back up, wait on the rest of the parts so I can build the engine. Thanks for watching Shade Tree Jet Ski.